Hey there, you with the stars in your eyes. My name is Kiris, and you're listening to the Voice of Astrology podcast. This week in astrology, we have the new moon in Taurus. Venus enters the sign of Aries, and Venus in Aries makes a conjunction to Neptune in Aries. Starcasting to you from the City of Angels. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for being here and listening to the Voice of Astrology podcast. This is your astrology cosmic superpower for the week beginning Sunday, April 27th through Saturday, May 3rd, 2025. Let's journey together with astrology and explore how to connect with the stars, the planets, the energies for our new week ahead. Sunday, April 27th, we have the new moon in fixed Earth Taurus, ruled by Venus at 7 degrees. This new moon in Taurus, this new lunation, is the time when the moon lines up with the sun to fill up with new light and energy and power. Think of the sun as the power station, which it is. The sun at the time of the new moon is like a rest stop. The moon has been on her journey for about 29 and a half days. Now she has run out of the energy and life force and meets up with the sun, lines up with the sun to prepare for the new action at the time and after the new moon, which is in the sign of Taurus. In astrology, we use a term called under the beams. And under the beams is when a planet is so close to the sun by conjunction that the light of the sun is blinding the awareness, the clarity of whatever that planet may be. In this case, it's the moon. The moon is our instinctual, emotional body, how we feel. This new moon in Taurus, which is ruled by Venus, are the feelings about love, relationship, connection, marriage, romance. Depending on where and how this is taking place, this new moon in your personal astrology chart, which is based on the accurate birth date, time, and place of your birth, we can think of this new moon in Taurus as blinded by the light, which it is with this moon under the beams of the sun. Always around the time of the new moon, when the power, the energy has just gone out, or the lights are out as far as your energy. This is never the time to try to force or push a situation. When we're feeling we need to rest, perhaps we're depleted, this time around the balsamic dark side of the moon, the exact moment of the new moon, and then about 2.5 days after the exact moment of the new moon, when we start to see that beautiful crescent newborn baby moon starting to wax and grow, the time of the new moon, again, is to not try to make something happen or begin that it's just not exactly the right cosmic energy superpower. The energy isn't there. Now, this new moon, depending on where and how it's connected to your personal astrology chart, this can be a moment of realization that you were blinded by the light, in the sense that you thought everything perhaps, or assumed everything was going great in your relationship, but it hasn't been. The other person has been trying to resolve issues that maybe we just didn't see or didn't want to deal with. You yourself may feel that you just don't feel the same way about a person, a relationship. The moon is obscured, dimmed by the light of the sun. So a lot of conflicting emotions can come up, and you find yourself wanting to sort through and get very clear about just how you really feel in the relationship you're in. So many times as a professional astrologer, I will hear from clients that are very hurt that the person they've been involved with or dating, that other person has had a change of heart. They just don't feel the same way. This promise of I will always love you no matter what doesn't always end up with that kind of scenario, because people, they do have a change of heart and mind all of the time. When it happens to us, it's a very painful experience. The new moon in Taurus is also connected to your talents and abilities, things you've always loved. It can be a career that perhaps you thought, well, I'll be in this forever, I love it. And then you're starting to feel like, I'm not so sure. Maybe I want to change careers, job, your artwork, all of the things that you create that are connected to Taurus and beauty. One of the fabulous things about this new moon in Taurus is that Taurus is fixed earth. It's a sign of endurance, determination. Taurus loves to create and build something that will stand the test of time, something that will last forever. So the new moon is a time of new action, new beginnings. So what is it with this new moon in Taurus that you've always wanted to create, and create something that will be solid, common sense, useful? All of the earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, they want to give and provide something that is not only practical, but something that will be of use to you. Because Taurus is the sign of Gaia, Mother Earth, more natural, healthy products can come into your life. Perhaps you do have an interest in things that are natural and of the earth, helpful to the environment, helpful and healthy to us. This can be a new beginning for you as well with the new moon in Taurus. I'm actually recording this on April 22nd, Earth Day. Happy Earth Day to you all, and may all beings live happy and free. One of the lessons in this new moon in Taurus is to use what's called good earth sense. Earth sense is about paying attention to the physical senses. The senses of what you're seeing with your own eyes, what you are feeling with your own hands and body, what you are hearing with your own ears, the fragrance of what you are smelling with your own nose. Ever hear the phrase, this just doesn't smell right to me? Meaning, when the mind and the intellect is confused, and also when perhaps you're not trusting your own intuition, your own gut. There it is again, your own gut feeling. With this obscured under the beam's new moon, let your physical sensations help you and guide you. Can I see it? Can I hear it? Can I taste it? Can I touch it? This is all about the earth sense that you have, that you are born with. You are in a physical body. So getting closer and more connected to what your physical, common sense, down to earth senses are trying to communicate to you. Paying attention to just what those messages are, especially when you may be feeling lost or obscured, dimmed by this new moon under the beams, that will always help you. Travelers will always look to find the North Star, because at least when we can see north, at the very least, we know what direction we're going in. So whether it's a sailor out to sea, someone out in the forest, even if you're lost in the city, the physical sense of, well, at least I can see the North Star. I know I'm going north. Even that can be a great help and a guide. So with this new moon in Taurus, which is filled with very exciting, potentially new opportunities to be more connected to your physical sensations, to be off on that new moon journey, to find what it is that you really love. Yes, to become more aware of just what is going on in all components of love in your life, and to trust the physical, common sense, down to earth Taurus that will never steer you in a direction that you're not supposed to be going towards. Taurus is the sign of no nonsense, common sense, earth sense. For people that don't have Earth or a lot of Earth in their chart, this can be very challenging at times. So you would want to bring in the Earth element into your life, a connection to nature, things in your environment, your home, that represent Earth. Forest greens, chocolate browns, earthy colors, plants, perhaps even a pet. If you don't have a lot of Earth in your chart, there's nothing like a good, down-to-earth, straightforward, no-nonsense friend that's just going to tell you, if asked, that will just advise you straight up with no nonsense. Common sense, here's the bottom line. That is not always easy to hear, but there are times, especially around this new moon, when it is helpful, it is necessary to hear just a good common sense, no nonsense, down to earth opinion. Monday, the moon's day, April 28th, we are in new moon energy with the moon still exalted in the sign of Taurus and the moon also still under the beams of the sun. The moon under the beams makes a conjunction to Uranus in Taurus, a sextile to Saturn in Pisces. The moon exalted in Taurus makes a sextile aspect to its ruler, Venus exalted in Pisces. After the moon makes the sextile to Venus exalted in Pisces, the moon goes void of course. Then the moon enters mutable air Gemini, and the moon is out from being under the beams of the sun. The moon in Gemini has the emotional need to express how we feel and also what we need and want to change. The moon in Gemini is connected to Venus exalted in Pisces in the sense of Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac, and with Venus in Pisces at the ending degrees of Pisces, right before she changes signs and moves into her detriment, her exile in the sign of Aries, this need to express how we feel and the need for change in our love situation is exalted, meaning it's amped up. Whether it's professional counseling or someone that you know and trust that you can talk to and bounce your feelings off of. Also, if they need someone to talk to and you're there to listen, this is of great benefit with the aspects we're having right after this new moon moment. Tuesday, April 29th, Mars's day, the energy moves so quickly. We now have the moon in Gemini making a sextile aspect to Neptune in Aries, an air trine flow to Pluto in Aquarius, a sextile to Mars in fixed fire Leo, the moon in Gemini ruled by Mercury, with Mercury now in cardinal fire Aries moving very quickly. This cosmic energy is just throwing caution to the wind and saying what you need to say, getting it up and out, and not really being concerned at all what the end result of your words or communication will be. It's just the need to say it and putting it all out there. The moon in Gemini is also making and applying conjunction to Jupiter in Gemini, its detrimental placement. There's always free will and choice. The cosmos just highlights certain energies and powers happening for us. Are you sure you want to say what you're about to say? A lot of inconvenient and uncomfortable truths will be coming out into the light. Wednesday, Mercury's day, April 30th, we now have Venus once again entering the sign of Aries. Cardinal fire detrimental Aries, where Venus is the furthest away from her natural home placement in the sign of Libra. Venus, the planet of love and beauty, will stay direct and too hot to handle Aries until June 5th, when Venus finally goes into the sign of her home placement of beautiful fixed earth Taurus. Venus has co-rulership, her home signs being Libra and Taurus. Venus in Aries is very headstrong, Aries being the sign that rules over the head, so rushing into a love too much, too soon, too quickly, so sure that this is the one and you're falling hard and hot without having the patience to wait and see, to give it some time. Venus in Aries doesn't want to give anything the time. Venus in Aries, lacking in patience, just rushes right in. It's cosmically advised that you, at the very least, try to wait until the conditions are more supportive, like Venus moving into her home sign of fixed earth Taurus, before you make a big commitment about a new love situation and or the love situation that you're already in. Because the need to be loved is so strong in the sign of Aries, and Venus is in her exile, so far away from home in Aries. Foolish, rushed choices about what makes for a stable, healthy, happy, great relationship that has the potential to last over time and be of great benefit to both people in the relationship is something to be aware of when we have Venus in Aries. Thursday, May 1st, Jupiter's Day, we have the moon moving into her home sign of Cancer. The moon at home in Cancer is an emotion, a sensitivity, a connection to your emotional body, which is where we live when we are aware and connected to just exactly what we feel. Doesn't matter why, we just feel what we feel. Our emotional intelligence, our intuitive knowing is supremely strong when the moon is at home in Cancer. Our cosmic superpower of the moon at home in Cancer makes a sextile aspect of opportunity to the sun in fixed Earth Taurus. The healthy healing energies of the moon at home in Cancer, which is the connection to how you feel your intuition, making the sextile to fixed Earth sun in Taurus. The blending of the earth and the water is healing, it's healthy, and it's also a balance between how you feel and also what the common sense, earth sense, what your physical senses are communicating to you with the sun in fixed Earth Taurus. The two luminaries, the sun and the moon, masculine, feminine, head and the heart, saying yes to each other, compatible with each other, is this opportunity to know and feel emotionally and physically about what it is that you want and need to do for healing, connected to love, home, family, and abundance. The opportunity here to say yes. You are in alignment with what it is that you want to manifest, create, and build. Friday, Venus's Day, May 2nd, we have Venus in Aries making a conjunction to Neptune in Aries. The Neptune in Aries cycle is all about reconstruction. The Venus conjunct Neptune is the reconstruction of knowing your self-worth, reconstructing the sense of self-esteem, how you feel worthy about love, having love, finding love, and how you see yourself, identify yourself as a lover. Feeling lovable, believing that you are desirable and lovable, is Venus conjunct Neptune in the sign of Aries. We still have the moon at home in Cancer, and the moon in Cancer makes a square aspect to Mercury in Aries, a square aspect to Chiron in Aries. The square aspect involving two signs of the zodiac that are water and fire. This is steam, it's passion, it's emotion. Square aspect also motivates us to make changes, even if these changes are not easy. Will you choose the moon in Cancer, which is, I've been hurt before in love, so I'm not going to try again? Whereas the Aries, of course, is, yes, you're going to try again. Aries is forever that cosmic power of being young at heart and ready and wanting to take a chance on love. Cancer the crab can find trying again in love very terrifying and wants to hide out in its protective crab shell. Aries is very brave and just rushes right in, ready again, head first, willing to take a chance on love, and finds it extremely exciting. Saturday, Saturn's Day, the moon then enters fixed fire, oh so romantic Leo that rules over the heart. The moon in Leo makes a fire trine flow to Neptune in Aries, a fire trine flow to Venus in Aries, an opposition to Pluto in Aquarius, and then a conjunction. Moon in Leo conjunct Mars in Leo, oh that's hot. Moon-Mars conjunction in Leo, that is hotter than a pepper patch. Have you ever heard that song by Johnny Cash, June Carter, We Got Married in a Fever? That's what this Moon-Mars conjunction in Leo is. I actually met Johnny Cash one time. He walks in as big as the doorway and goes, hi. My knees buckled. I melted. I just like you fell in love with him. There are no words really to describe Johnny Cash. But anyway, what do we do when we have conflicting forces this week saying, take your time, try to keep it slow. Venus is going back into Aries, her detriment. Yet at the same time, there are cosmic energies that are saying, yes, move quickly. It is so hot and romantic. We do the best we can try to do. That's what we do, which is always take a chance on love and believe in love, of course. What is life without love? But if we can just try to be aware with what the cosmic superpowers are showing us, which is take some time. Wait until the conditions are more supportive to make a final commitment. That's all. It is springtime. It is time for love always, whether it's springtime or not. So just try to temper it a little bit and give yourself some patience with these cosmic alignments. Maybe you'll take some time and listen to Johnny Cash records. I'll love that man forever, past eternity. It's impossible not to love and not to fall in love with Johnny Cash. Thank you so much for being here and listening to the Voice of Astrology podcast. I will see you all in the stars.